Hi, I'm Del, and welcome to a ridiculously long devlog. That's not really a devlog. It's literally just me drawing and then showing off the code that I barely wrote for my final computer science project of my first year of university. Woo! Um, I decided to make a visual novel because I wanted to draw. That's it. And I'm an artist, not a computer science major. But the class, it wasn't bad, honestly. I was kind of shocked. My prof was really nice, and I'll have him a lot, for my next 3 years, so I'm glad that he's nice. And I was able to make a visual novel, and he was literally offering to help me and stuff like that. But there's not going to be a lot of coding in this video because I didn't record any of it because I did it all at 1 a.m. I mean, I recorded most of these clips at 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. because that's the only time I can work in peace and quiet. So my first character is Ari, just an OC. I wanted to make a visual novel with all of my OCs, which is really stupid, but for a school project. But I joined the program that I'm in at this school because I wanted to make games. So I was like, well, since I have the time, technically, why don't I start and just make something really simple, which the simplest I could make would be a visual novel. My program isn't really art based. I was only able to take this is my first year actually. I was only able to take one art class this entire semester, and it was just an illustration class, which was fun. It was really enjoyable, but most of them are restricted for Bachelor of Art students, so I couldn't do a lot of the art classes I wanted to take. And the whole reason that I came to this art school is because I wanted to learn how to code and stuff like that, but I wanted to focus more on art. So that kind of sucked, but I'm an artist at heart, so I thought a visual novel would be best for me to make. Because I spent the semester I did make a lot of things that had nothing to do with art. I would say I did website stuff. I if there was an assignment, I did what the assignment was instead of I did my work. So I wanted to have fun and do something that I enjoyed for my final project. And looking back on it, I kind of regret it a bit because it took a while. It took a while. I spent a lot of time on the art. I finished the entire script up until the second, basically the last day, where I was gonna have to do the final outcome of the visual novel. I didn't finish that because as I was writing it, I was wait a second, I don't even think I'm gonna get that far into coding to even get to this part. So I ended up just doing the first day that I had written out in my script. And I also was I felt bad for my professor because I was they MITA, because I was they don't care. I wanted to be a demo in the first place, but I guess I got really into writing it. It was yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to write out the entire script and see what happens. And I literally only got through the first episode, or the first chapter, I guess, the first actual day of starting the game. So I did the prologue and then the first chapter, pretty much. Yeah. So this this video was gonna be an hour and 20 minutes, which is crazy because I tried to condense it as much as possible, but I'm not gonna talk through the whole thing. It's just I don't think that I can't condense it anymore. It's at 700 speed, plus I put everything in a sequence and I put it up to 180, and it's still an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, I guess I'll just go over my process and stuff like that. So for Ari, I wanted this to be a story about her family because she's like, or she's one of my OCs and she's half French. So I just thought it'd be funny, you know? Be fun for her to run a cafe with her family. I'm not. I really didn't like this pose when I got to the other one. And I guess it's because it was the first one I did. And like, if I cut it out, but I did like the grisaille, is it? Like the one where like you do your drawing and like when you're coloring it, you do it in black and white first, or like you do it in gray tones first. So I was just doing bullshit. Like, it's a visual novel sprite. I don't know what I was doing. Or I'm guessing it's because it was so early in the morning, late at night. It was at like 2 a.m. So I was just doing stupid shit. And like, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But it didn't make sense because I was just wasting time. Like, it's a sprite. Like, I don't need it to be like painted beautifully. You know? Just like needed to be like readable and legible. So I started with my rough, and I did it with a symmetry ruler, which is really where like I started to regret. Like, once I moved on to my second and third sport that I did, I really started to like regret that, because like a visual novel sprite isn't like, for a visual novel, I didn't like the way that it had turned out, like how it looked. Like, as a drawing, like, yeah, it's cool, but I'm like, visual novel sprites, they're not usually like really symmetrical. Like, there's like personality in it. There's not a lot of personality in her pose, which is, you know, different from the other ones that you'll see like later on in the video. I guess I can just blame it on like me doing this one first. But I was like, yeah, I'll start with the symmetry tool for some reason. Like, no, don't do that. But here's me looking at like the references and stuff like that for the outfits, for the waiter and waitress outfit servers. I wanted to make it so that like everyone was wearing one that represents them, kind of, and like their vibe, you know. Yeah, this is what I was talking to. Like, not needed. It was not needed. And then I was using like a multiply layer. Like, it wasn't, I don't know what I was doing, and it wasted so much time that I was like, this doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I wish I put more time into like thinking about the pose, because I kind of I went for it, and I was like, oh my god, this, like, I'm finishing this so fast. Like, I'm pretty sure if I look back at like every individual like clip that I took when I was making this, I think like her sprite as a whole only took me like almost like less than 2 hours, I would say. Yeah, so like I liked it. I enjoyed making it, but as I kept working on the other ones, I don't know, I had a really hard time with them. Like, she's not one of my favorite OCs. I have OCs, but they're kind of just like there, you know. I don't really do anything with them, which is why I was like, oh, why don't I do this? Like, if I participate in like art fight, like the sheet, the character sheet that's on my left is from art fight. So I do like, I'll post for like them for like art fight and stuff like that and make them for art fight, but that's like the only time I touch them. That's the only time I touch them. They're kind of just there for shits and giggles because I get bored and I want to draw. Like, I made my first like actual OC when I got Clip Studio. Like, I had like the demo of Clip Studio, and I was like, oh my god, like I was having a really hard time drawing for a while. It was back when I was in high school, and I was having a really, really hard time drawing for some reason, and I was using like Medibang paint and stuff like that. And then I get on Clip Studio, and I was like, I drew like 3 characters in like 5 hours, and like I did like character sheets for them, and I wrote about them and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, this is incredible. Like, I don't know, maybe it was like using the new tools or something that really moved me, but it did move me, and I was I was excited to draw again. So like, I have characters from like that time, but I don't really do anything with them. I don't really feel like doing anything with them, which sucks. But I wanted to add, I only did 3 characters for this. Like, I did 3 sprites like for the game, and I was only meant to do 2 because I realized I wasn't going to get that far. But originally I was going to do 4, which are the 4 like thumbnails you can see on the left side. I was originally going to do all 4 of those, and I ended up doing 3 out of the 4 because I realized that like I didn't have time. Like I didn't have time. It was going to take too long to even like not just like doing like this, it was mostly just doing the script, like coding. Like at this point it was a engine based on Pixis.js, I think, and I was going to use that. So I literally hadn't started that until like a day before this project was due. I don't know, it was really hard. I had noticed, like I was looking through it and like the documentation kind of sucked. Like when I downloaded the files and I put it into VS Code, I like it made no sense. Like I had to download a whole bunch of stuff just to get it to like work, and then even then it wasn't working. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to use the other engine that I found, and that was Monogatari, which was a lot easier to use. And as I was looking at the documentation while I was at work, and I was like, oh, this is literally 10 times easier than the other engine I was going to use, which is why I kind of continued to like push off doing the coding. And like I was saying before, like I'm not a coder. I don't code. Like I know how to now, and I can do it pretty well, surprisingly. Like I was actually shocked, but there wasn't a lot of coding involved in this part of the project, and I already got my grade back. I submitted it on the, let's see, I submitted it on the 21st. It was due on the 14th. My professor did give us like an extension until the 28th, so, or until the 25th. Yeah, until the 25th. So I wasn't late or anything, but it was supposed to be done on the 14th, so I spent like the week doing it in between going to work and stuff like that. He said it was good that I learned like a new engine, I guess, like a new way to make stuff, because we'd mostly been doing just like P5.js and like using the canvas function to make stuff. It wasn't, I don't know, I'm happy with the way that the game turned out. It just wasn't as fulfilling, I guess, as kid. Like, but I'm, as long as he didn't care, because like I did like a minuscule amount of coding. It was literally mostly just like putting in my script, and then adding like programming, not even programming. It was literally just adding in the music, adding in my characters. The only coding I really did was they have tags and these things called, I think they're called components. I might be butchering that. I'll see if I can find a screenshot of what I'm talking about in their documentation. But it's where, so they have like a bunch of tags in the index, and what you're supposed to do is use like their script, I guess, to change those tags. So instead of having like how it would like normally be like, you do your div, and then you add in like a header, and then you like change the color of the header with like and do all that stuff, and that's all in like the index. They only have like the tags, so then you put that tag into a JavaScript file, and then you do all the editing in there. So I guess they literally said they did it just to make the index cleaner, which I didn't really like, because I was used to doing it just everything in index, which was a bit easier, easier for me, and I didn't really care about how messy it was, but I was too lazy to like go over it and fix it. So I did that. Like I added the main menu and stuff like that using the tags that they already have in the index, and then I just like added my images, like the buttons and my main title screen and stuff like that, using that method. Right now I'm drawing Makoto. He's a character, like I drew him, he's a guy. He's definitely a guy. I fucking hated, you can tell by the way like I'm speeding through, like I cut everything out of the process of me drawing this, because I ended up changing the face. Like, even like I don't know. It was like his face was fucked up. His legs, like they looked fine. They looked completely fine, like in the rough. Like, but they look so long and weird in like the line art. I don't know what. Like, I don't know if it's. I'm guessing it's because of the position of the apron. Like, oh, hi cat. Like where the apron ends, that it's a little bit weird looking, and it just makes his legs look like freakishly long. But like when I'm looking at the rough, like it looks normal. Like the anatomy looks fine. It's just I don't know. Like yeah. So he's a character that I like, but I really hate drawing him. Like I don't know what it is. Maybe it started when I had to I had to change his last name because he before I got into like a group called the Rampage from Exile Tribe, his last name was the same as a member from Exile Tribe, the Rampage from Exile Tribe, whose name is also Makoto, and I was like, that's weird, and I don't like that, so I had to change it. And like I like the backstory I gave him and everything, but I can't draw him to save my fucking life. Like if someone put a gun up to my head and was like, draw him and make him look normal, I'd be dead. Which is crazy. Like I don't know why. Even in the reference picture, like I don't know. I hate the way that his face looks in the reference. But like he's supposed to look like, kind of like a cat, you know? He's supposed to look kind of like a cat. Maybe it's also because this isn't really my art style anymore. Like I drew these in like 2023, like the references. So maybe that's why. But like it just like it looked so fucking bad. I don't know why, and I couldn't fix it. And I was like, this is not supposed to be about art. It's supposed to be about coding and such. So I had to like lock in and just be like fuck it. But I kept like as I was working on everything else and I was putting him next to the other sprites, I kept going back and fixing his face. And like in the end, I think it looked okay. Like in the game, I think it looks okay. But this was like hell. I was in hell. It was hell. I hated it. I'm going to read like the actual synopsis or like about that I sent to my professor. So the story is, you meet your two coworkers, Eri and Makoto, and they beg you to stay so they need your help. Promising to train with them for 2 days, you spend the first with Makoto and the second with Eri. You decide to come back on your third day, and you're able to choose what you want to do in the cafe. Like, that's when you meet Sebby as well, and he basically is like, do this or that. I can do both because I'm good at it and you're not. And then on the fourth day, it splits into 2 different routes where you decide who you're gonna help in the end. Since there's 2 characters, you decide if you're gonna help Eri or Makoto. And then the final day includes creating the dish, and with the coworker of your choice, and then seeing if you can help them win number 1. So winning number 1 was gonna be tied to like what you choose, like the choices you choose in the game, which I didn't get the chance to program. That probably would have raised my mark a bit. Because it was actual, like, I would have had to code like the storage function in Monogatari, which I didn't do because I don't know. This was so draining. I literally, everything that's in this video, every single thing that has been recorded in this video was recorded from like 12 a.m. in the morning to 9 a.m. Like, in between those hours was the only time that I actually worked on this. Why? I don't know. Like, I'm free during the day, but I'm like a vampire, you know? I am a vampire. That's why. I can't do anything in the day. I have to do everything at night or I'll die. I'll burn up and die, apparently. So now, this is me working on the background for the kitchen, which I'm actually very proud of. Like, I didn't take any video, like, clips of me finishing it, which is annoying because I want to, like, look back on that and be proud of myself, because I literally cannot draw backgrounds to save my life. I can't do a lot of things to save my life, apparently. But backgrounds, I don't know why they're so hard for me, but I want to get better at them. Like, I want to do game art and stuff like that in the future, and like do like make like manga and stuff like that. And I have for a really long time, like, making comics and manga, but like the thing that always beat my ass was backgrounds. No matter what I do, like, I have to force myself to add backgrounds to all my art, just because, like, I want to get better at it, but for some reason I can't do it. I used the perspective grid to make this background, and this was me kind of just adding adding Eri and Makoto into the scene to see how they would look, like how they would look against it. And then you could kind of see me going back and working on his face again when I saw him next to Eri. I don't know how long he took me because I literally just stopped recording at one point because I was like, this is getting to be ridiculous. Because I was just like, his face just looks stupid. I think the last thing I did though was just fix his mouth, like make sure his mouth closed. I'm pretty sure. And then I stopped touching it. But it was like, I would see him with like other people, like other characters, and be like, that looks so weird. He looks so weird. I think it's because his body was kind of stiff too. So I did go back and actually, like, in the end, when I started redoing Aries sprite, I kind of like changed the way his chest is placed. Like, I moved it over a little bit so it was a bit more 3D. And I think that helped a bit. I also fixed up his arms and stuff like that. But I ended up just leaving it because I was like, no one's gonna be seeing like anything below his, like, the arm on his hip pretty much, so it's probably fine. And I think it was okay. But yeah, it's me still working on the background. I think it honestly turned out really well. I ended up blurring it in the final, but I definitely think for like the first time I've done like a background like this, that it turned out really well. This one was pretty easy, honestly. I don't know why, but even doing like the cafe background was really fucked up for some reason. I put the same perspective grid from this kitchen into the cafe, and I could not do it. Like, I had to redo it like 6 times, and I had to move the perspective grid. I switched to a different one, and so I don't really like the way the cafe turned out, but the kitchen was pretty good. Here is my favorite character out of all of my OCs. This is Sebastian, or Sebby. I love him bad. I love him a lot. I think you can tell, like, from from the way that I make this sprite, even though he's not in like the game. I did finish like all his sprites. I finished all his like emotions and stuff like that, which I think that's towards the end, because I did that at the very end, because I realized like I needed to have some of those. Yeah, and I was just like putting it off. But I think you'll be able to like tell just from like the difference in between the way that I drew him. Even just like, I feel like the rough, like the way that I drew the rough compared to the other two, like how much I prefer him over Eri and Makoto. Which I even in my original planning, he was the, like, his outfit was the one that I drew, but I gave it to Makoto because I was like, well, he's not gonna be in it, so I'll just give it to him. But that's why his sleeves are long and flowy, and they'd probably get in the way if he was actually cooking things, because that's how that works. But it's personality. It's personality. It's so annoying. I enjoyed drawing this sprite the most out of everyone, and this is why I ended up going back and trying to fix Aries sprite, because I was looking at it and I was like, well, sprite, like, they're supposed to be like dynamic, you know, which is where I really messed up. I was like, it's because they're supposed to be dynamic, and like this one I really enjoyed doing, not just because I like him as like a character that I've made, but because it was just like, it was fun to draw. Like, this pose is fun. I ended up like, I don't know, I guess it's because I was actually like finally in like the zone as I was doing it. I'd say that's why I think I was in the zone once I started, like, once I had finished the kitchen, and I was like, oh, this is fucking fire. So I wanted to go back and like fix the other sprites. And then it was getting later and later, and I was like, I need to hand this in because I want my semester to be over. I want this to be over, so we're just gonna have to leave it. But I think you'll even be able to see it in like the title. Like I drew him so easily. I don't remember how much of that I recorded like at this moment, but I drew him so easily, and it turned out so much nicer than Ari, and like that says a lot. But once again, this wasn't supposed to be like a drawing thing. It was supposed to be a code something, like code using something that we haven't like learned in this class yet, is what the prompt was. Since we're here, actually, I will give you guys some lore on him, because he's one of the 3 OCs I was talking about that I made like as soon as I got Clip Studio. He's one of those characters, so I am very attached to him for some reason. Not for some reason, but it's because he's cute and he thinks he's a vampire, and I love vampires. So it's fun making like art of him doing like vampire-y things, and he like all of the tropes that I like are in him, compared to like the other characters I make just for fun, or like to have like a character to be like, oh, I was bored, I made an original character. Like he is like a character that I would like to make art of and stuff like that, just because he's close to my preferences and the things I like. So he's born in Korea to a foreign mom and a Korean dad, and they lived there for 3 years, and then his little brother was born, and his mom, being a foreigner, like felt weird being in Korea without her family, because she was mostly there by herself with the kids, because his dad is a businessman and traveled a lot. So after his little brother was born, they moved back to Europe. I forgot where I placed his family in Europe, but they live in Europe. It's not, was it Italy? I don't remember, but yeah, no, his mom is European. And his actual name is Sujin. He just goes by Sebastian because he was reading like a vampire book when he was younger, and the main character's name was Sebastian, so he goes by Sebastian or Sebby, and he basically literally thinks that he's a vampire. He dyes his hair blonde, and he wears makeup, so he wears like pale makeup, and like doesn't go outside, and he's also really short. I like drawing him like, well, in this one you can see it because I didn't draw him with his vampire aesthetic or how he normally looks. I drew him with his black roots showing, because I think that's so funny, because whenever his black roots are showing, he gets really pissed, and he'll wear a mask the entire time and just not want to talk to anyone or deal with anyone. I added a quip about that into the actual game. Like when he shows up, he was like, oh, I'm missing my hair appointment to be here to open the cafe because they're doing something, like this is the last time you're ever gonna see me like this. And I was like, it's funny because no one gives a fuck, no one cares but me, which is the fun. It's so fun and whimsy. I love it. He's a delusional king. He's delusional as fuck, and I like the relationship I created for him with his little brother, because his brother is like 10 times more mature than him, and will call him out for being delusional as fuck about like grown as hell, acting like he's a vampire. I guess I just drew him for shits and giggles, because I honestly, as much as I like the concept, I don't think that I'm gonna finish this. Like honestly, I don't think I'm gonna finish it, which sucks, but I don't know, things happen. Maybe I will, or maybe I'll just do like draw art of it instead and see what happens. Okay, so after Sebby gets his like highlights and stuff like that, he's done. And like you can see, like I had Aries sprite like up alongside his just to see how it looked. And that was me going back to Makoto to fix him again. Um, but then I went to Aerie and I was like, this is kind of like, it's flat. Like I know why it's flat. It's because I used the symmetry tool, and there was like no way for me to really fix it at this point. So I was like, oh, I guess I can do like I do like her raising her hand, or I can just try to add as much movement as I can into the sprite without it, like without having to redraw anything. Which it worked. I just did like a few paint overs, so I guess it worked in that sense. But like I couldn't figure out what I want to do with her. Like she's her lore, like in regular everyday setting. I mean, I included it in this, like in the game as well. Like once you get to the day where you decide if you want to help her or Makoto. So she's a model originally. She's a model with a lesbian model. she's a lesbian model. She's or she has a crush on the other character that was supposed to be in the game that I didn't get to adding because it was gonna be too much. So yeah, but she's a model originally, like a teenage model. That's that was supposed to be her vibe. So I was trying to like pick a pose that would really suit that, and like I couldn't, like I couldn't without, I feel like I felt like I couldn't without completely redrawing the sprite. But that was impossible at the time, simply like because I was like, once again, this isn't like a drawing project. It's not a drawing project. Like at the end of the day, it's not a drawing project. It's a computer science project where I should be coding. So then you see me, like I duplicated her regular sprite. I duplicated it, and then I was trying to add a bit more like expressiveness into the drawing, because like who she is, like she's a bit serious, but she's like a bubbly girl at the same time. So like I think, and you can definitely tell that from, I think it's just, you can tell that from the face on the original sprite, but not like the body. So technically, basically, I was doomed from the start. I was doomed from the start when I took out that stupid fucking symmetry tool and decided to make her body somewhat symmetrical. I literally, like, when I tell you, I spent so much time trying to fix, like I had to cut some of it out. I spent so much time trying to fix it. I was on Pinterest. I was looking up poses on Pinterest. I was like, I don't know. It was rough. And then I was looking at it and I was like, I don't really want to redraw it because I don't have time now. Maybe I would have had time if I wasn't drawing Sebby. Maybe, I probably would have had time if I wasn't drawing him and he wasn't even gonna be like in the game. It's me just drawing her hand. I don't remember what that pose was supposed to be, but I was like, I mean, I tried my hardest. I drew a new face to go with this pose, and that's when I was like, no. It was like, no, like, I mean, it was just a rough, obviously, but I was like, no, because I mean, at the end of the day, I had based all the other sprites off of her, so I was like, I'll just leave it, and that's the way it is. Like, yeah, this is me literally doing it again. And then I stopped and I gave up. So this is me working on the title, or the title screen. It's supposed to be Aerie in the middle, sitting on like a strawberry tart. And then Makoto pouring some coffee, and then Sebby with like an eclair and his towel that's usually in his apron. You know actually why this took so long? I completely forgot. I want to insert a video of this. So the reason this took so long, I was going, and then I was like, I can't go anymore. So I woke up the next day and I made like a clafouille. Oh my god, there goes my 4 years of extended French. I made a clafouille, and I'll insert a picture of it. But I literally, I gave up, and I made like, I was making bread and I was making French tarts instead of doing my project. And I mean, it was refreshing because I came back to it and I was able to like bang it out and finish it. But it got to a point. It got to a point. And you're also going to see on the title page. So, I'm, just like with backgrounds, I am not good at drawing food. You know, those like not even super realistic, but just like those really like stylized, incredible like drawings on Twitter of like, there's that one guy, I'll see if I can find a picture, like a screenshot. But there's this one guy on Twitter who is so good at drawing food, and it's like, it's not even like realism. It's like, it looks good. And that's the kind of food that I wanted to draw for this. Didn't work out because I can't do it, because I'm not good at drawing food. I'm not good at doing backgrounds. I'm not good at drawing food. Why did I want to make a game that is based on food? I don't fucking know. I don't know. If I can't draw it, I don't know. But it was too late now. And I'm not gonna use fucking AI like the rest of my class and like my professor. So he's like, yeah, you can use AI for this. It's fine. No, I'm not gonna do that, and I don't want to do that. So I had to suck it up and paint my heart out and try my best. And I had to keep fixing the saturation because my drawing tablet, I have a Huion Canvas 22, I think it is. It's 22. Yeah. I mean, she's good. She's lovely. She's great. But I don't know what it is with the color settings, but it is so fucking off. Like, I cannot fix the color settings no matter what I do. I have 2 other monitors, and they're both Dell monitors, right? So I've been trying my hardest to get like them to match, at least. So like when I'm about to post a drawing on Twitter, and like I move it from my drawing tablet to my main monitor, every time I do, the saturation is fucked up. Like the colors are fucked up. And like I have to do like I have to put a correction layer on top of it almost every time. And like I don't know, sometimes I'll have like my drawing on like my main monitor and then on my canvas, just so that I can see like if the colors look weird. And sometimes even that won't help, because I will literally try to troubleshoot it like in the middle of my drawing. I'll try to fix my Huion settings just so that it matches what's on my main monitor, and I can't do it. So when I was making the food, like it looked so like dull. It looks so dull and desaturated, so I had to keep changing the saturation and everything. The worst. I don't know, it was like, wow, I want this to look so nice and appetizing, you know. That's the whole point of this game, you know. It's a food game. No. It looked like shit. It looked like shit from a butt. And you know, I kept going, you know, this isn't the point. It's not the point. I'm supposed to be coding. It's not the point. It's not the point. I was getting tired at this point. I had to think of like a font and something like that, which I didn't end up thinking about. It's like, I mean, I had fun. It like this part wasn't bad, especially Sebby. I don't know what it is about him. I don't know what it is, but I genuinely like every time I draw him, I have so much fun. Like it's fuck everyone else. Like I had like even this pose, like the hand. I had a really hard time with the hand, but like once I got it, I was like, I love this. Like it looks good. Eri was Makoto once again, his fucking face. I don't know why. I don't know why he always looks weird. He just looks bad all the time. Like who are you? At least like the two others look like somewhat consistent. I don't know who the man is. I don't know why he looks like that. And I couldn't be bothered to fix that either. Alright, so this is me starting to color the food, the pastries. I don't know, man. I don't know what it was, but it was just like it just looked bad. It just looked bad. I think like my colors that I used are what made it look bad. And I probably should be using a reference, but I was like, I just want to get this over and done with. I'm guessing it's the way that I shaded the cream puff, but I just hated the way that it came out. This is me working on the strawberry. Like, even the strawberry turned out bad. I was like, why am I doing this to myself? Why was I doing it to myself? I don't know. They just looked fucking ugly. Everything looked ugly. And then I had to draw even more strawberries. I had to draw the tart, like the pastry for the tart. I don't know. I did try my best. Then I was also like, what time was it when I did this? I think it was like 4 a.m. when I started on this one. So I was getting to that point where it was a bit tired. I was getting a bit tired, and I think you can probably tell like you can probably tell once I get like further into this how like annoyed I was. And then I just started like bullshitting like the strawberry with the strawberries. That is a part I did not try my best on. I will be completely honest. They turned out okay, I guess. Everything's I guess. They turned out fine. It was just the ones that were covered I didn't really care about. I don't even remember if I like that green part. I was adding like mint onto it. I don't even remember if I colored it, but I guess we'll see once I get to it. if I did color them. I'm pretty sure I did. And I was trying my best to get it done as fast as I could. I was like, the highlights were fucked up. The highlights were fucked up. Everything was just, it was a mess. It was getting to the point where I was like, I'm almost out of art and I need to start coding, and I need to at least like open up the engine and see what's going on. The documentation for the engine was actually really good. Like I can't say anything about that because it was very good. Like genuinely, it was helpful. It was very helpful. Oh, I did color it green. Okay, there you go. I did end up coloring it green. The documentation was pretty helpful, so I was able to get it done fairly quickly. My one problem, like the only problem I had, which would have shown more of like my programming skill, I guess, was that like the components feature I was talking about, I was trying to add music to the title screen because I was looking at other games made with the engine and they had like music with the title screen. So I was like, I want to do that. So I downloaded like a song that was going to play for the title, and I had inserted it, I had added it, wouldn't work. I had tried like coding it differently, didn't work. I tried moving the initializing it. I had it initialized in the script, so I moved that to being initialized in like the main the main page, like where it's supposed to start, where that code for the music to start at the beginning wouldn't work. I had spent I think like 3 hours trying to fix it, and I was like, I literally like nothing would work, and it was so annoying. I just wanted a bit of music. I wanted a little bit of fun, cause but I was like, I saw like I looked at 2 different ones that were featured on the Monogatari website, and I looked at 2 that were featured on the website, and they both had music. So I don't know what was going on, or why mine like just wasn't working, but I couldn't get it to work, which was extremely annoying, because I feel like the only thing that I really coded, and it like wasn't even code, was me adding this screen to like the main page. That was basically all I did. But my professor didn't seem to mind, so that was good. Like, that's all I can really say about that. My professor didn't care. He's like, good job, you learned something new. It's like, yeah. I don't know, like the sound and music worked out fine. It was actually back to like, I even tried adding like a button to that will like initial, like, so I thought it was something wrong with my autoplay, but like my autoplay was on, so it should have worked. But I had made like a pop-up that was gonna be like, this website is gonna play audio, and then you just click OK, and then the music would start. That wouldn't work either, and it ended up breaking my main page and like all my buttons for some reason. Like, I don't know. That shit was stressful. Like, I swear it's like 3.5 hours, which is also why I don't record when I code, because that shit is not, like, I think I was sitting on my ass the day that I started coding this. I was sitting on my ass from literally like probably 3 p.m. I think 3 or 4 p.m. to like 9 a.m. in the morning. I was sitting trying to get this coded. This is a very long time, obviously, so I did not record it, but I will at the end, like once I'm done like with the art, I did take like a video of my actual script that I can go over, and just like you can look at that, because I'm not bothered enough to show anything else. It's just like ridiculous. It was so much, I don't know, like I thought it was gonna be fun, like, and it was fun. It did end up being fun. Like, I won't say that it wasn't fun. Like, it was enjoyable, but it's just, I don't know, coding sometimes, I think it's because I'm a little bit okay, I am a little bit stupid when it comes to coding. Like, there will be times when I'll like write like an L instead of an I, and then I'll spend like a mad long troubleshooting, and it literally like it's so fixable, like if I just paid attention. So it takes a really long time. It takes a very long time. So it's a mess, right? And this is me actually getting into Photoshop, thanks to my school for giving me a free Adobe subscription. Yay! And I spent a lot of time going through this stupid fucking like text. I hated all the text. I guess I cut it out. Okay, so you don't have to suffer through me spending like almost like 20 minutes like switching back and forth through text to try and find one that I like. But you can see me struggling to move the text. I hate Photoshop. There was a time where I did draw with Photoshop. I don't remember if I got it for free or like, I remember I had it downloaded like officially for some reason, and like I used to draw with it, and like the brushes just are so bad. Like, if you don't have your own custom brushes in there, it's just awful. Like, it's terrible. Even me just filling in that like that line at the top, and then I was trying to do, because I completely forgot to draw her hand, her foreshortened quote unquote hand with the whisk with the whipped cream on it. I couldn't do it in Photoshop, so I literally had to go back to Clip Studio to do it. And then I played a cat and mouse game of me going back and forth between Photoshop and Clip Studio to try to finish like the drawing portions, because like I could not paint in Photoshop. I don't have any of my old my Photoshop files anymore since I got a new PC. They should be somewhere, but they're just like, they're not downloaded, because I literally just downloaded Photoshop to do the text. So I had to keep going back and forth, but yeah, drawing in it is hell. And I completely forgot because I haven't done it in so long. But it felt weird. It felt bad. So I will stick to, now that I have Clip Studio EX, I bought it for myself because I wanted to try it. I've been enjoying it, so I don't think I'll ever go back to Photoshop really. And here's another clip of me having to continue fixing the stroke on the text. I had to do it like 3 times because I kept going back and forth and it kept getting deleted. But now I'm working on like the menu. So I made like custom buttons for the UI because I was like, oh, if I add like custom buttons, at least like that would be nice, you know? And it didn't work. They literally wouldn't work. I couldn't size them. I couldn't get rid of the original buttons for some reason. So the way that the buttons are set up right now is so janky. You're supposed to be able to play this game on mobile as well because like all the settings, like it's set up so that you can play it on mobile, which is wonderful and extremely lovely and great. But I can't actually play it on mobile. No one can because I had to like do something really stupid with the buttons. So I had to use the original buttons from the engine because the ones that I had made that you just saw me making in Photoshop literally wouldn't work. Like I would add them in, they wouldn't work. I coded them so that they should work. It wouldn't get like, it would just like make my original buttons invisible, but they would still be on the screen so you could still click them, and then my new buttons would not be clickable. So I spent the 3 hours doing the music, trying to make the music at the beginning, and then I spent another 3 hours trying to set up the buttons and like fix the UI completely. Literally wouldn't work, so I gave up and I just used the UI that was already there, which meant moving the buttons in CSS. I moved the buttons in CSS rather than, like, I moved the original buttons in CSS rather than using the buttons that I made in Photoshop. And apparently I didn't do it properly, but because of that, the game is unplayable on mobile because the buttons just disappear. Like, the buttons aren't visible because they're like way off the screen on mobile. And it's like, I was looking at like the dev tools for like the other websites that made games using the engine, and like I was trying to figure out why mine wasn't working, and I literally couldn't. I couldn't. I don't know why. I still don't know why. I gave up, so it doesn't really matter anymore anyways. But yeah, I don't know what was going on. Maybe it was just me sucking. I guess it was just me sucking and not knowing how to code, I guess. It'd be nice to play it on like mobile. Maybe I'll try it on my iPad to see if it works there, but yeah, for now it's only playable on PC. And my professor's already seen it, so it doesn't really matter. This is me doing the emotions. I made a sheet, which you can see before. I made a sheet that's basically just like every emotion I wanted to have. I think I did all of them. And then I also did them for Sebby, who at this point I knew was not going to be in the game. I was just literally just doing it because I could. But so yeah, I was working through Aries first, and then I did Makoto's, and I liked his a lot. I liked his a lot more than his regular sprite, which was interesting. I don't know, I guess because there's just more emotion on it, because like his face was kind of just like blank, just blank, no thoughts. So I think that's why I liked it a bit more. But yeah, I literally was just copy and pasting the original face and then just like editing it, like drawing over it, painting over it, and then putting it in a folder. And that's all I was doing, just to keep it like as consistent as possible. And I think it turned out okay. It's something I did, you know. And finally, we can go over my code. Yay, my quote unquote code. So this is what the engine looks like. It's literally just you add in all of your like your characters, all of your sound, your scenes and stuff like that into it, and you just start writing your script that way. Like it comes with a little demo, and you can I basically just rewrote the demo and then I added more onto it. It uses labels to move on and like progress in the game. If you make a choice, you have to make a new label, and then continue the game that way, which wasn't that bad. It was pretty like fun to do, I would say. It's pretty easy. It was literally, I would basically just I would have like the first part be like 0, and then when you would have a choice, you would make a new label. It'd be like day 0_1 label, and then you make another choice, it'd be day 0_2 label, and then both of the choices would lead to the day 0_1, and then you just continue the story that way. So this is what my game looks like. Wow. Start button works, all the buttons work. There's no music at this part, so I'll keep talking. But yeah, so you just write your name, and then you can ask questions. Yeah, then the music starts, and it literally just goes on like this. So enjoy. Okay, so I bet don't ask why these drawings are so chopped. I I did them at like 8 a.m. right before I submitted on Monday, because I was like, I need something to add here, because there was supposed to be something there anyways, and I just didn't get to it. So yeah, this literally that's how they look, you know. Look so fucked up. Like, it tells the story fine. I was doing it to the best of my ability, whatever. And they were getting cut off and shit. Like, it was so stupid. Yeah, so then that's the end. That's literally just the end. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching a literal hour and 20-minute long video. It's kind of crazy. I like talking to myself. So I will be making more videos eventually about the different stuff I do. Probably fan art, most likely, because that's literally all I have the energy to do. Yeah, thank you again for watching. Bye!